Hello, beautiful, beloved beings. Welcome.
Hello,
And
everybody.
welcome, Thomas. Thomas is with us today from Tarot Your Way. I've put um, the link to his channel in the chat box. And how are you doing today, Thomas?
I'm doing fine, Deb. How are you?
I'm I'm here. I'm not too bad.
Beautiful as ever.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So,
I wish I could grow enough to be a member of the Blue Haired Club.
I just got really tired of my hair a couple of weeks ago and found my clippers. So it ended up cut off. So let's real quickly look at chat. I'm going to see who's joined us. Claudia, Cat Mama, Meows, do drop in, is with us. She's work lurking. So hopefully she said she'd try to listen. Hershey, the shadow reader, Hershey's with us. Hi, Hershey. And Cardamancy Mesquite, Angela is with us. Lady Silver, 1111. Hi, how are you? Pia's Life. Boy, they're starting to come in. Andrea Galvin is with us. Aquila B24. Hi, Aquila. Warrior Girl. I always want to say 1113, but it's 113. So, hi, Warrior Girl. And Michelle Shining Light. That's Melinda from False Teeth Real Tarot's sister. And that looks like everyone that's in so far. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Come on in. So, how are you doing, Thomas? How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling physically well, but I'm battling some mental issues with my channel and trying to find some motivation.
Motivation and maybe a little balance.
Yeah,
Just a little. Good morning,
yeah.
Tabitha.
I need justice or the Two of Pentacles in my life.
Yes, we all do. And a little bit of temperance, maybe.
Well, we've had that since October of 2018. So
Yes. So, Thomas, we were talking backstage, and Thomas and I were getting to know each other. He wanted to know a little bit about me, and I didn't tell him anything, so I'm going to tell him now. I'm going to give him the Reader's Digest version of my channel and all of that. So, I started in May, a year ago. I started my channel, but before that, I had not. I had read cards as a kid and a teenager and like into my 20s. But then I kept seeing my mother's death in my cards, and I didn't want to accept it. And so I told her she was going to have a change of something, a change of careers, a life changing event. And so she became ill, and I, after a short but intense illness, she passed away, and I put my cards down. For 34 years, I put my cards down because I didn't want to know. And so during the pandemic, I examined whether or not I should have done that. And so I picked the cards back up, and I kept getting the message that I needed to start a channel. And so I did. And I just had to find my angle. What did I want to do? And I am a storyteller. So I thought, well, I will share the stories of my life and the lessons I learned then, and that the new lessons I can learn from looking back over it. And then I read cards on it. And so that's how my channel started. I have about 70 or 72 videos of my stories. And then I, along the way, had guests like yourself come on, and I've chatted with them, and we've learned about each other and learned what lessons we can take away from those things. And I never picked up an oracle card until I started this channel, but now I read oracle cards, and I can do a few things. I can do mediumship and I can do some psychic stuff, but mostly I tell stories and play cards.
Well, that's a great thing.
So that's the Reader's Digest version.
You're doing a great service for your followers.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. So I know that when you were on with Gerald, you guys covered a whole lot about your journey and how you got here to this place, and your spiritual path. But I was wondering, oh, thank you, Kelly. Yes, I will be joining Kelly live on Monday, this coming up Monday at 7 Eastern. I was wondering, now, how do you cope with trying to stay positive and stay upbeat? And because you always seem to always really have it together whenever I've seen you do readings or in chats. And I know you were sharing with me that you don't always feel like that's the case, that that it might be a little bit more complicated than just looking like you have it all together.
Well, that's the outward appearance. I think I'm a work in progress, and I've been working very hard and diligently on my mental health since being disabled, because I got a lot of my validation through work. I always associated I was what I did, and then once that stops, I had to make the choice and then follow through with the choice of getting my mental health in check. I wouldn't say that I'm there, but I've come a ways in the process.
Do you feel like that once you started your spiritual path and really, delved into reading cards and thinking more about the big picture than just yourself, did that help you at all sort of center and ground into being more comfortable in your own skin?
Well, everything became different overnight in a year and a half. It was a process of finally not being employed, and I really I had read cards in the 90s for about 12 years for a fall bazaar. Just pick the cards up once a year and then put them back down. So I didn't, when I became disabled, I didn't have any idea that I was going to be picking up the cards, and let alone having a YouTube channel. I started with my mental health journey, and then, once you work on yourself 3 or 4 hours a day over YouTube, getting advice on how to cut ties with narcissistic people and breaking family patterns, because that
Those, those are
that
all
work
really big things. They're
that
not.
that work really sucked, and I had a lot of tears because I really wasn't a good person.
You weren't the person you wanted to be.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, you see somebody who's maybe calm and collected on the outside, but I think that attests to how good an actor I've become over my life's path of faking it till you make it.
But the genuineness, though, that you have when you're doing readings or when you were sitting here just chatting like this, it's that's not acting. That is you, a
Well,
genuine person.
I'm I'm empathetic to others, and so harsh on myself. And the I didn't know that I would be here on YouTube and doing this, but I had to find something that would give me some structure and some meaning. And uh, I was probably, it was probably like right at the beginning of the pandemic where I found the political channels, Sunday nights with Johnny and Becca and Jen Lynn.
Those are very entertaining. Yes.
Um, I mean, I was laughing so hard, and then the the roommate that I have is diametrically opposed in their political stances. So like I'd have to sneak around and listen to them
I
away.
understand. Yes. I have family members that would not appreciate my real opinions.
I'm just a sheeple, according to him.
I know. So you found the tarot community, and
I found the tarot community and was like, oh well, I know exactly where my cards are because I just moved, and so I brought out a couple of my favorite books and read through them and pulled the cards out. Found out that I couldn't manage a regular shuffle and was just doing a wash shuffle on top of the tabletop and putting them back together. But now I've got a battery operated card shuffler to do that for me.
so Kelly says, I'm so proud of how far Thomas has come since meeting him. Looking forward to him joining me on Friday night at the fire pit over the summer.
I look forward to that. And
Hi, Jackie.
Kelly's looking for a night that's free in her schedule sometime in June, and maybe I can beg my way onto her channel, like I did for you, Deb.
I'm, you know what? You or the kickstart that I needed to get back into doing this, because, like I was sharing with Thomas, that since I moved, have not been motivated to get on here and do any live shows. And it's just because the energy is just overwhelming right now. And it's not anything other than just being the energy in the atmosphere. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
it's not the
we've
energy.
got so much hopes for the political news, and we've got, we just got through that Mercury retrograde that had everybody going, and then eclipse season, and spiritually energetic wise, it has been a bowl of popcorn.
Right. It has. It really has. Um, oh, it's just I haven't. It's been a convergence, like a perfect storm. So I didn't feel well. I just moved. The energy in the atmosphere is very weird. There's weird stuff going on where I live. It's just it's nothing to worry about. But I'm getting back in the swing of things, Miss Tarot D. And when you're feeling better, I would and feel up to it. I'd love to have you come and visit with me too. But the energy right now is a little intense.
Yeah, I've been a nomad in my adult life, moving. I think I sat down and calculated. In my adult life, I've lived 26 places.
You know, it's funny you say that. When I was a child, my dad, when he came back from Vietnam, he wasn't the same person he was when he left, right? And had trouble hanging on to a job. So we moved around a lot, and I went to 27 different schools as a child. So I can relate to the moving around stuff. it's being in a new place and never knowing who you're around, who the people that you're with, whether you're working or in school. It's being in a new place. All of that stuff that goes with being the new person is an interesting thing to have to deal with.
And I did that as an adult, and you had to deal with that as a child when, your whole life is, school and summer vacation and Christmas vacation. So the turmoil that you must have gone through constantly. The biggest gem of wisdom somebody gave me was bloom where you're planted. So I've always tried to make wherever I was staying a part of me, make it home, hang the pictures right away, and make it feel like home.
Yes. Yes, you have to make yourself feel like you're at home. I'm just quickly telling everyone in chat, please put your questions in capital letters so we can see them. Use emojis, whatever you can, you think that will get our attention.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it over to chat here if I can get there.
I'm trying to highlight a few. There are a lot of people in chat that can relate to the moving around a lot. Lots of some as children, some as adults. So there's plenty of empathy in our chatters for the moving around. So see, you really do fit right in.
Well, in my adult career, I was moving as I could afford things. I was moving incrementally up.
Yes.
It wasn't like the rags to riches story. It was a thousand steps to become where I am now.
I understand completely. We're already getting some questions coming in. So, and I've got Lady Silver, Ms. Tarot D, and Hershey. So if I've missed anyone, let me know or type it again. And so now you are up to this place in your life where you have, um, if you're like me, you've been compelled to start the channel. And not from people, but from just feeling a need to do it.
Yeah, totally on my own, and I'm ecstatic where my channel is. I've got 150 some subscribers since
Nice.
February. So if I ever get a computer that has enough power, I'll have guests go on. I'm too afraid to even do a solo right now with my telephone because it's been a little iffy, like
So
there's
you're
only been a few that have gone all the way through without a technical glitch or a falling out.
so you're a little concerned about your technology. I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to that. Ms. Taro D said we didn't move around, but we're very poor and subletted our home from from the roaches and mice. I've been there too. So you wouldn't know it to look at me, am an expert mouse trapper. So if you ever need to know what to use for bait, come see me. And so you are getting your channel up and running, and you're working on getting your technology right so that you can feel confident. Because what I'm feeling from you is that you're not confident in you're confident in yourself and your ability, but not in your technology.
Right.
So to show off your ability, if you want to start, we have 3 questions already.
Okay.
And if anyone would like a question, we'll do as many as we can get to. Please put them in capital letters and use emojis if you think of it, and we will hopefully see your question and work on getting it answered. The first one is Lady Silver 1111. And the question is, could I get a message from my ancestors? And I didn't ask you backstage, Tom, but do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
We can alternate or whatever.
What's easier for you? I'm fine doing either. I'm comfortable going first or waiting.
I'm actually ready to go. I've picked my cards. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so we have our Knight of Spoons, and he's the quick knight of communications. So we're going to get we're going to get our message, and we're going to get it quickly. And the next card is the World Reversed. So you're not knowing if this is the ending of a cycle or the beginning of a cycle, or if you've done enough on this path. Have you learned all the lessons? But you're there, you don't realize it yet. But then the last card that we have is our Seven of Wands, and there's going to be struggles on the next path. It's just how we grow, and you do come out on top and have the higher advantage of things. So it may not be what you're envisioning is going to happen for you, but that happens to everybody when we're trying to plan life. The world or the Wheel of Fortune comes around and throws something that we weren't expecting at us, and we have to drop everything and attend to that.
Thank you.
I hope that gives you some something to chew on, Lady Silver.
Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. I just got it. I just got Viviani's question. The first card that I got, Lady Silver, is the Druid, to hold space. I think that my message is very similar to Thomas's. Hold space where you are now for yourself. Be comfortable in being the lady. This lady, her keywords are enjoy your growth and reap the rewards. And the reward, see that apple there? The reward, the fruit of your labors is coming forward for you to hold in your hand, for you to, and this can be metaphorically, so that you know what you have accomplished. The wise one, grow within your current situation. You are becoming. You're becoming, and all you really need to do is to trust. Trust the unknown. Let it lead you, let it guide you. And I am confident that you will hold in your hand what you have produced. So, Lady Silver, I hope that's encouraging. Let me see really quick what did Ms. Tarot D is saying. If I can catch it. There we go. Oh, yes, we are twins. We both have purple hair, and we both love this deck. This Angels and Ancestry.
I love how the that first card, the apple, mirrors the pentacle. You know, the
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love that about this card too. Okay, thank you for your question, Lady Silver. And speaking of Miss Tarot D, Miss Tarot D's question is up next. What does my spirit guide say regarding to my finances? Okay. I'm going to get out my no nonsense deck. Goodbye, warrior girl.
Well, I'm playing with my standard deck because it's the one that can go through the automatic shuffler. It's called the Stoller Tarot.
You do what makes you comfortable.
It's by a cartoonist called Adam Stoller. Not that they're my favorite cards, but it's just what I have that is working. But it does give a comic view on things, and I like to lighten things up if I possibly can.
Thomas, do your guides have a sense of humor? Because mine do.
Oh, they have ironic senses of humor. They will show me irony at every corner. So, Ms. Tarot D, we've got the Hangman, and right now you don't think that you're going any place. You're just kind of stuck there for the moment, and but you are looking and reframing things. You're looking at things through a different lens and trying to see the possibilities and get creative in your finances. And our next card is the Six of Wands, which is our victory card. You actually are more comfortable than you know. You know, we're so blessed here to be where we live and not in a third world country. We have clean water, we have food available, we have accommodations to live in, and that's not the case worldwide. So maybe from the hangman's perspective, we have to turn things upside down and look at the pluses instead of what we're missing. But then it all comes out because we have the sun card, and the sun is our probably the number one happy card, and yes, and affirmations. So after that period of darkness, you finally figure out that there's sunlight at the end of the tunnel, and you get creative in the financing, and everything always was okay, but now you're realizing that it is okay. Hope that answers your question, Ms. Tarot D.
Ms. Tarot D says, ugh, that's what's been happening. Everything has just been hanging in there with no movement or contact from LTD. Yes, you are right. I am blessed and can get through the next couple of months. So, Ms. Tarot D, I am using this deck as the Literary Witch deck, Oracle. The first thing I got was Mirabai. She stands for devotion, worship, passion, the sublime. So that's where you are. You are within yourself. You have reached this degree of discernment, acceptance. Then I got the Fate card. This is Eileen Chang, and she represents things that are happening outside of ourselves. So this is a thing you don't have control over at the moment. Your finances, they are, you are at the mercy right now of what's going on in your life, the bigger thing that you need to take care of. Finances are a big thing, but the main thing is for you to be content within yourself, that all of this is going to come. Then I got the teacup, ease, rest, what you need to do to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself right now and not worry about the finances. And I know that that is very difficult to do. But just like Thomas was saying, there's a missing piece. There's Agatha Christie. That's the mystery. That's the missing piece. So you are on the verge of finding that missing piece that's going to click everything into place. The main thing for you, though, don't worry. Don't worry about it because it is working out. And I hope that you're able to take that advice, Ms. Tarot D, and not worry yourself into being less healthy. Kindness and Light has joined us. Lisa Foster. I'm sorry, Lisa Rhodes. I always do that, Lisa. I always call you by the wrong last name. And I apologize.
She's a fellow Iowan.
And I always call her Lisa Foster, and I know she's not. It's just what comes out of my mouth. You're welcome, Miss Tarot D. I do hope that that helps ease your mind a bit. You're very kind, and that's why you've taken that name, Lisa. Sometimes my mouth goes before my brain. Hershey has asked, what blind spot am I missing? Lots of crazy energy around me since yesterday. A blind spot.
That, that was sort of our earlier talking point, crazy energies.
Yes. You made the live, Beth. Hi, Beth. Aspasia Rising.
Okay, so we have our magician, and the magician's message to the fool is that we can make anything happen with the tools that we have available. We can astonish people, we can amaze people, we can deceive people. So use your tools for the right things, and um, the you do good with what you have. And I know that you do, Hershey. I've seen your channel. And the next one we have is the devil upside down. And the devil upside down, um, there you're just you just think that you're lacking in freedoms. But if you look at the people chained to the pillar of truth, um, they can easily loosen those chains and get free. And the devil doesn't really have a hold or control over you. That the devil is like my devil is. It's just what's inside. It's just my own things that are holding me back. And if you've got any vices that you need to get rid of, this would be a good time to um, take a second look at them and see if you really need those back in your life at the moment. And then the last card is Temperance reversed. And again, that's with balances and um, vices and addictions. You know, we want to have some pleasure in our life, but we need to make sure it's in the right measure. We don't want to go overboard with the alcohol or the gambling or the drugs or the sex or whatever comes up in your mind. So I think temperance should be before the devil in the in the in the scheme of things, because we want to take care of those addictions before we run into the path where we have to ask the devil for help.
Hershey said, I understand what they're saying. I'm grateful for the read.
I'm glad, because I'm very confused at the moment.
I think I can help clear it up. The first card I got, Hershey, out trick-or-treating. This card pops up. This is the We're Here card. So your guides are tapping you on your shoulder, and they're telling you they're there to support you. The Angel of Time was my second card, that you're working too hard. That maybe you're not working too hard, but you're working at it too hard. Maybe you need to step back and listen to what those guides say. Because then I got the Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch, and she is telling you to count your blessings. So that's the same message that Thomas had. To count your blessings, realize what you have. You're not missing anything specific. It's not a blind spot to one thing. It's that you're trying so hard that you can't hear. You're trying to hear so hard and see so hard that you're missing it. It's right in front of you. Lastly, I got the Poe card, and she is telling you to use the gadgets, use the technology. Figure out the technology and use it. That's what they're trying to tell you. Story of my life. This new energy is a good thing. It's removing what isn't serving me. I will look around and let go of anything unnecessary. Yes. And follow the guidance of your guides. Let them lead you into what you need to do. Let them show you the way. They're the ones that know what you need for your highest good and what you need for, I'm assuming, tell me if I'm wrong, that you're looking for a way to make your channel more successful or have confidence that what you're telling people is right. That sort of thing. You can hear them. They're telling you, we're here, we're right here, we're supporting you. And it's not that it's a blind spot. It's just that maybe you need to step back, take a deep breath, and see what's really there. See how you are touching people and how those that need the message will see you and hear you. Beth says, when I used to teach yoga, I would say, try your hardest. Now do 10% or 15% less. You injure yourself trying your best. If that makes sense in an analogy, Hershey, that does make sense. It's, if you're trying so hard, then you're not just going to overshoot your mark. You could injure yourself. You don't want to injure yourself spiritually. You definitely don't want to. Not so much the channel, just not sure why I'm not finding a landing place to be stable. Have you tried finding some place, a natural place, like maybe sitting near a tree or something like that, and just breathing and being and meditating? That might help you to just get to that stable place where you can see clearly what you're looking for. Reconnect yourself with nature if you can. Where are you at, Hershey, in the world? Where do you live? Yes, sip, sip. That's a good idea. Oh, in the Midwest. Okay. Going on a hike today. That might help you. That might help you just to breathe the air, to be in nature, just to notice little plants and rocks and things. I hope that helps you some, Hershey. I know you're working very hard. Okay. Next up, I have Viviani. Thank you for your question, Hershey. Viviani asks, may I have a message from Spirit, please?
Okay, we have the Three of Wands reversed. So you're waiting for your ship to come in, or since it's reversed, you may have think that you've missed your opportunity for your ship to come in, but you still have the harmony and the peace of the little bluebird of happiness on your finger. So tell the bluebird what you want Tell it to go out in the universe and bring it back to you. And the bluebird of happiness will do that for us. Next, we have the Page of Swords. So it looks like you're fired up and keyed up, and you've got a lot of energy tied up in this. And maybe you just need to relax a little bit and not let it become a hot button issue for you or so urgent. The message will get through to you loud and clear. So don't worry about it. It's going to come. And we have our strength card. And our lion tamer gave the strong man the duty of taking care of the lion, and he didn't tell him how to do it, and the strong man is just coming in here and brute forcing everything. But if you look at the original Rider Waite Smith, the person is urging the lion to shut its mouth gently and on its own, and trying to stroke it and make sure she doesn't get bit or nobody else gets bit in the same process. So try not to put excess energy or strength into it. And your spirits don't yell at us. Spirits come and gently nudge us. They give us a breath on the back of the neck to make our hair stand up on end. They whisper. They're not showboating around town. Spirit is there, and they've always been there. We just need to tune into their frequency. So I hope that helps, Viviani.
So thank you, Thomas. I got, for my first card, I got Viviani, I got the Chariot. So you are moving forward at a pretty fast pace. You feel like you want to be this miserly old man, the Four of Pentacles. You want to hang on to what you've got and make sure that it doesn't get away. I got the Thief, the Seven of Swords next. And so I think that you're feeling like you need to hang on to something because you're afraid someone's going to take it. And I don't know if this is a physical thing or if it's a spiritual thing, but you feel like that is taking place, and that maybe moving on will help with that. But Viviani, you are the high priestess. This is you. You hold those answers. She's got a book and a crystal ball. That's all you need. You know what has happened before, and you know or have an inkling of what's to come. So if you can trust yourself to move forward and move into who you are, step into being the high priestess, you won't have to worry about this. You won't have to worry about hanging on, because you will protect yourself and you will not let someone come in and try to tear down everything that you've been working for. You can do it. You don't You don't need someone else to do it for you because you know what's going on and you know how to fix it. Okay. Hopefully I got your question, Andrea. Okay. So, Viviani, just trust yourself. Trust yourself. Okay. Then Andrea's question should take us right up to the top of the hour. She's asking, what do the cards say about shift and changes in balance for light workers for this summer? And it she's talking about specifically the political chaos that's going on.
Well, we are seeing things advance while things are staying the same and not moving very fast at all. So I know that there's a lot of anticipation, but if we want things to be legally solid, we've got to wait the proper time. Make sure Jack Smith and Fannie Mae, Fannie Willis, can do their job and get the right discovery and get ironclad proof. Okay, so we have the Popeth, our high priestess, and she keeps the secrets. She's the knowledge bearer, and she's not going to give up her secrets easily. You've got to ask the right questions and play her game so she's willing to give out the correct answers to you. Because being upside down, she might try to trick us. But she knows the Akashic records. She's got all the hidden wisdom and knowledge there. And she sits on the moon, which is our intuition. So we just have to be patient, think about things, frame the question in the right way, and then hope that she gives us an answer, because she will answer honestly when she's going to answer. Next card we have is the moon, and so cycles. We have a 30-day moon cycle. So if you think you're going to get something this month and it doesn't happen, next month it may happen, or things come to enlightenment next month that change it and delay it and keep it another 30 days in the future. But remember, we go out and we bark at the moon and we howl and we scream and we throw our little inner temper tantrums at times, but throwing those temper tantrums aren't going to get us anywhere, because it is just a matter of that time. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we get our answers, we get it solved, but to maybe financial detriment to the country, because all this legal work and investigation and stuff takes money, and we know some people claim to have it, but they're not paying their lawyers to do the work. And then who's he taking it from? Just the rest of us by delaying and delaying and delaying. So we get what we want in the end, but there is a cost.
I don't know who you're talking about, Thomas.
Nobody here, no one here, I'm sure.
I don't think anybody
not
here
even
knows.
myself. You know?
Hello, Arpita. If we can, we will answer your question. Okay. Let's see. Andrea said, "I'm not wanting to influence just some folks I follow. See, this summer may have turmoil, but we don't have to get caught up in it." Exactly. And that is much what I got. Were you finished, Thomas? I don't want to step on your.
I'm done. Yeah, the outcome was it's going to cost us.
Yes, it is. The first card I got, Andrea, is the Two of Cups. So there's a partnership. As people trying to hold the light, we are partnered with one another. We're trying to work together to hold up a torch into the darkness. And there is darkness, the moon. She is standing on the darkness of those waters in front of the moon. In this deck, she's kind of the reverse of the High Priestess. She's holding secrets. So all these secrets are coming to light, and they're being brought to bear by the powers that be. So this is kind of my DOJ card, the King of Wands. They're coming forward to expose those secrets. But if we remember who we are and what we're doing, then that Six of Swords, we can help be guided onto calmer waters. The summer is going to be a little chaotic. There may be, threats of violence and that kind of thing. But in the end, that will be tamped down. The powers that be will find those pockets of persons that want to take revenge or get even or whatever it is their bag is. We just remember, stay together. We stay together, we're stronger, we will be putting out more light. And those who are waking up will see it and come towards us. So we may be busy, but it'll be good work because all those secrets are coming out. We just need to be prepared for whatever there is and know that we're going to be fine. That and what happens is going to be, in the long run, for the benefit of all of us. Hi, Kiba. Kiba Lyons has joined us. And, I just wanted to quickly tell you that Ms. Tarot D said, "Thomas, you haven't met my spirit guide. When it wants me to say something and I don't do it, it flicks my ear. Sometimes it pulls my earrings off."
Yeah.
And I've heard Ms. Tarot D say that before.
Well, some of us need a whack over the head, but that's against most spirits.
I argue with my spirit guides all the time and generally lose.
Well, yeah, because they're eternally persistent.
Yes,
and we don't have eternal patience.
yes, they are. So, how are you doing, Thomas? Do you feel okay? Can you do a couple of more questions?
Yeah, we can hang in there.
Okay, I've got two more questions, and then we'll close up after that. Pia's Life has asked if there's time. I'd like to ask my guides what to do to break this overspending, fear of missing out I've had that's gotten me into this financial trouble again. Okay.
Okay, so we have the King of Buckets. So we need to examine why you think that you're missing out. I know when I was a big person, I was trying to fill the hole in my soul with food. So I overate. So are you trying to fill a hole in your life with things? Can you possibly put off acquiring things, or do we need to deal with the problem that's causing us to want more and more and more, and the more we get, the less satisfied that we are. We are a product of commercialization, and they know just how to get to us. You know, they've spent millions of dollars to part us with our millions of dollars. The next card is Judgment, and so we need to use better judgment, since we're lacking good judgment here. So if you've never had a budget, maybe go to a financial advisor and see what you can realistically take care of all your bills, and then have a little bit of budget so you don't feel like you're missing out on everything. There are going to be some things that we have to miss out on, but if that leads to that ruin, that financial ruin. And we've got our two of swords. So there's a decision that needs to be made. It's really a black and white decision. And so if you put the blinders on and think about it, you'll know what you have to do to make the decision. You just got to cut out the distractions, and you think that there's 50 shades of gray in there, and you're so paralyzed at not being able to come up with the right decisions that you're afraid to make any decision at all, when really it's just a clear cut yes or no. Do you start it today, or do you start it tomorrow? Well, you're a little bit better if you start it today, but it still can be started tomorrow. It's a day away. So I hope that helps you, Pia.
Oh, I wanted to quickly say that Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, her lunch break is over, so she's leaving us. So don't work too hard, Sherry, and we'll catch you next time. So, Pia, I got much the same message. The first card I got is Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave, to think about the things that you need to cut out or bring back, or what it is. The snow angel, the signs are with you already. You know what you need to do. Look at her. She's telling you know what you need to do. You already see it. Next card I got was a grumpy red fairy. She says, be yourself. So whatever you're trying to project might not be your true self. So if you think about your true self and who you are on the inside, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need to project something that you're not. The mildew fairy tells you it's time to clean up. Clean up those things that you need to, about yourself, that you need to put into play to be you. You don't need stuff to be you. You just need to be brave. Pick up that little sword. Be brave. Cut out what you need to cut out and bring back what you need to bring back. So you can do it. And you know what you need to do. Ms. Tarot D has to go for a Zoom meeting for a health visit. So we will see you next time.
Bye, Miss Charity.
Pia, you got this. You know what you need to do. You just have to be brave enough to stand up and do it.
Yeah, that's it's sort of universal. They market credit cards to the very young college students to get themselves in this unbreakable cycle.
Yes.
So, and it's easy trap to fall into, and it's designed to keep the poor poor and the rich rich, and to perpetuate what's been going on in America for many years.
Yes. And so you're not alone, but I feel like once you see your true face in the mirror, that fear or whatever it is driving you toward acquiring things, you will see that it's a false thing. It doesn't serve you. And if it's putting you in debt, it's definitely not serving you. Thank you for asking your question. Wait, what did she say? Thank you for thinking I'm a college student.
Oh, no, we're all, until we acquire intelligence, we're all newbies.
Students.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and it's to Thomas's point, is that they start instilling in us when we're young that we need to keep up this kind of lifestyle. Arpita is our last question. Guidance for career, please. Really confused right now in studying.
Arpita, the first card you have is the Chariot, and the Chariot, you need to have a clear course of action. The normal charioteer does not have reins or anything on his steeds, so he's got to get the steeds on the same page, so they're heading in the same direction. Now, once you get clarity on where you're going, you can guide them with mental telepathy to keep them on the same course, instead of each course trying to take you down one path or the other. So that would caution you're not going at a breakneck speed, but just remember, when you make up your mind to go one direction, not to do what so many other students do, is change their major mid-course. The next card we have is our Emperor, our emperor is that teacher advisor that we go to. All the kings come to the emperor for guidance. Now, the emperor isn't just here because he's like the next in succession. He was voted on to be in this place. But the emperor's chair is ancient and goes before him and will continue on after him. He's just a man who you can get that same mental clarity that the emperor has, that wisdom. He holds the world and the Ankh as symbols of his divine mastery, but he's just a person like you and me. So you've got the wherewithal inside of you to keep going. Just if you need to have an advisor, speak to a guidance counselor or advisor, or examine why you're having so many difficulties. And then we have the Ace of Buckets. So this is a little emotional for you. And once you get that mental clarity, it's like all too obvious. It'll be an aha epiphany moment for you. And you can start on actually that clarity and being not confused and continue on with your studies. And you get a little divine guidance. We have the Dove of Peace giving the Eucharist to the congregation. So we have a little sense of commitment, communion going on here.
Arpita said, I did engineering and now I'm pursuing law.
But you've had your career. It's not where you're starting over in your studies mid-course. It's not like you were in the middle of engineering studies in school and just said, "Oh, I think I'll become a lawyer. Let's go this direction." You've had your career, so we all second guess ourselves when we change course in life. And am I going to be secure? Am I going to be stable? Am I going to be happy in choosing this? It didn't work out last time. Is fate destined to repeat itself? Not if you're armed with knowledge and well-reasoned out thoughts.
So, Arpita, the first card I got is the Lion, which can represent mastery. And so that's what you're doing. You are learning something new. You're studying toward a new goal. I think you feel like you've been indulging in a fantasy. That's Emily Bronte, and she represents fantasy. So you feel like you've done this career that you had, and now you're not sure if you're going the right direction. Jamaica Kincaid is my next card. She stands for history, for the past. So you've been looking at what you've done before, knowing that was something that you've done already. You have all these interests, like you said, and that's why it's becoming confusing. But then I got Mary Shelley, who she represents loss, but that also stands for transitions. So you're transitioning from an old career to a new career. And because there's so much that you have interest in, you're wondering if you've chosen the right thing. I feel like that with this Lion card, you have chosen wisely, and that you are doing what is necessary to get the credentials to do that. Trust yourself. Trust the transition process. It's okay to think about what happened before and your other interests and to kind of second guess yourself a little bit. But I feel like that lion is telling you you have chosen wisely, and that if you stick with it and do the transition, then things will work out the way you want them to. But if you have other interests, it doesn't hurt to explore them on the side, just to give yourself some peace of mind that you have chosen the right path. So if you decide to do that, then I think that you will find that you have chosen the right thing. And if not, I mean, no harm, no foul. If you find something else that sparks your soul more than what you're doing now, there's nothing wrong with changing. So I hope that helps you. We can't tell you what you should do, but we can tell you that what the cards say is that you seem to be taking that path. And dance and spirituality are the other interests. There's nothing that says you can't go into law and dance and be a spiritual advisor. There's nothing that says you can't do both or all three.
Just know when it's appropriate to dance, maybe not
Yes.
in front of the judge.
Yes, that's true. Well, thank you, Arpita. So, trust yourself. And if you feel like you need to dance, dance. And you can always pursue spirituality, no matter what you're doing. Exactly. Hello, Hypnicity. Dance for fun. Well, that's all our questions for today. I really enjoyed chatting with you and reading with you, Thomas. I hope you'll come back sometime. Thank you for all your questions.
Thank you for letting me horn in and make you come back.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. And Hypnicity has said that she's been lurking. So thank you all for coming and joining us, and we will see you soon. Until next time.
See you guys.